So when it comes to those who are injured, we have good news. Azin will be able to play tomorrow. I'm just joking. So unfortunately, he is injured. We have another player who is in training and will come back. And we are training to choose a player. But aside Azin, who is out, hopefully everyone else could be part of the team. Good morning. So we saw the match of Morocco against Cameroon. We saw how you managed the team. We saw the impact of your physical strength. Do you think that you can keep up the momentum in this side of the game? Of course, we can assume that we have gained in strength, but we are beginning to have experience when it comes to these kinds of tournaments. We know that during the first round or first phase, there's a lot to do. We had Ashraf, whom we had to strengthen, a lot of players. And so we take risk. I would say controlled risk. But of course, our performance against Cameroon actually reassured a lot of people. But as far as I'm concerned, we are still in the same conditions. I always say that each match comes with its own truth. When we play against Cameroon, the level of motivation in the quarterfinals is always on top. And so it compels us to ensure that we have the criteria. And so this is what has made people more excited about the Cameroon match. So for the past 2 years, we are still working on dealing with our opponents. When we are playing with a strong opponent, people always think that we haven't really played well. But I think this is not the case. We are doing really well. And this is a team also that is doing well and which also wants to surprise the outcome of the game. But I think that we are on the right footing. We are confirming everything that we're doing for several years now. And to do that, we have to be up to the game. And so this is what I can say.
Thank you. Question. السلام عليكم كوتش اسمو الصباح نشوف دابا كوتش كان واحد البوليميك مؤخرا على التحكيم كوننا كنستافدوا من شي تحكيم
So, coach, regards to the referee, we've been we've been told that we are benefiting from the privileges when it comes to the referees, and there's been statistics which were released yesterday, and in these they mentioned that we are also benefiting from injustice when it comes to the referees. What are your thoughts on this? This is unfortunate. It's unfortunate that they are taking this path. We are in a beautiful continent. We're doing our best. There's always a negative image when it comes to this. People want to think that some games are won in this way. I think that this has been the narrative. People have doubt, and we always have such issues. In reality, you as journalists will have to do your work. So if a penalty is given in a particular way in the match and not in another match, I watch all the matches because we have a lot of players who play in Europe. I think it's the same issue. I think that I would always defend the continent of Africa, and I would always believe that every team is doing its best. As you mentioned, since the beginning of the competition, we were also left on the sidelines. For instance, when we played against Mali, the penalty, for instance. So this means that we have the best players on the continent. Also, we have the best teams in this part of the tournament. Nigeria is still around. Senegal in this past years has been one of the best or the best team on the continent. And for us, we're trying to go up in the past 4 or 5 years to be one of the best teams on the continent. And so we have a stadium in Tangier. I think capacity is 80,000. Rabat also 60,000. I think that this is the best publicity we could have for African football. Well, when it comes to technical issues, is this one of the greatest matches? Well, I think yes. If you go in the criteria of the game, an AFCON in Mali, for instance, in a field where it was, let's say, 50 degrees, or even when we played against DRC, when we played at 130, in a place that was very hot, I think, of course, it's much more complex to win a match because now the criteria is much more challenging so that they are not able to play their best. Today, we've put in place the conditions for the best teams to play well. And before the quarterfinals, we had a different situation, but now we see that things are going better. With the development of future games, I hope that we would have better conditions, we'll have less surprises, and we can also put forth our continents out there. I am also proud of the coaches. I want African football to be respected, even if we're not always doing perfectly. I think that we are moving in the right direction. I hope that we would have enough game to actually place our continent out there. Was not taken into account. So we had the uh, goalkeeper who also did something that should have led to a penalty, but this was not taken into account. And so people have tried to undermine our efforts. And each time I tell my players, I speak to them, and for us, the only way in which we can send out our voice is through playing on the field. You would hardly hear me talking about the referees. Even in Cote d'Ivoire, I didn't really talk about that. And so, as far as I'm concerned, we should stop thinking in that way. And for instance, when we played against Cameroon, for instance, and we just need to tell ourselves that a team has won. And so, for my players and I want us to focus on the game. And I hope that for tomorrow, the referee will be on top of the game. So for us, we are more concerned about the field, the pitch, and the game. And you said that some teams uh, did not feel that the match was fair. Currently, we have social media, we have traditional media, and some people would support Morocco and others wouldn't support us. I think for us, our focus is to really to play a great game.
My name is Sasha Bawan from the Guardian and Observer. I saw you too. I saw you 2023
Gali after you had taken an African team to where it had never gone before, the semi-finals of the World Cup. In any other country, after achieving that, you'd probably be bulletproof as a coach for the rest of your career. But here you are being asked to end 50 years of AFCON drought here in Morocco. The pressure I have seen has been tremendous. Do you think that this has been fair to you, considering how well you have performed?
I think I didn't quite hear the question.
Yes, it's a good question. I'm waiting this question a lot from Moroccan journalists. But it's good. It's from you. Look, in my country, it's like this. You need to accept when you are the coach of national team of Morocco. Every result, you have a critic. It's true. I do my best for my country every time. Maybe I do a mistake sometimes because every coach he do a mistake in their life, and And is like this. Me, I'm stay focused with my team. Is what is important. I fight for my country, and the critique every time. What I say to my player, I can fight about this. What is important is what he do in the pitch. When he wins the game, he helped me a lot because when you have only 4 defeats in 3 years half, and you make Morocco in semi-final in the World Cup and semi-final in the AFCON, normally nobody can speak. But in Morocco, it's different. You win on his spoke. It's like this. You need to accept and to work a lot and to accept this. And we hope the next coach, inshallah, in Morocco, he do more of what I do me.
So I am a freelance journalist. So with the absence of Indijum on the pitch, we know that this person had a significant impact on the game. How would you handle this game during this upcoming match? So of course, the absence of this player would be challenging because the team we have against Nigeria, they have significant players, strong players. So when you look at the bench, and even they have changed their system of play, which may not be the case tomorrow. I think the importance is not to focus on one player. So on our side, what we have to take into account is the fact that in terms of concentration, focus, and impact in the match, we wouldn't, for instance, allow us to just do 20 minutes as we did with Tanzania, and even avoiding too much focus in the last 20 minutes. I think we're going to be punished for that. So we need to be strong mentally. But semi-finals of AFCON requires a high level of focus to avoid the opponent from leading, and to also ensure that we maintain our game. I think it was also a very good test for us because it's been a very good test actually for our team. Good morning. I work with MC Sports. Up until now, you have played in this particular game. When we talk about this semi-finals as being the most important in the history of your country, I think this is key. I was criticized. People said I wanted to protect myself. I hope I'm going to win this semi-finals, this game. So we have a perfect stadium, a great climate, amazing players. We have several players who have won Ballon d'Or.